Alright, let's take it back to the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. Okay, so how did the laws get there, right? Did it require God? Well, let's see what people say. The law in question are descriptive abstractions of what the universe does, not prescriptive illustrations about what the universe can do. As such, they do not require a lawgiver. But as long as the lawgiver is being asserted, it opens up to the question of where God got his laws. This opens up a paradox somewhat similar to the embryo dilemma. Here Bertrand Russell says, why did God issue just those natural laws and no others? If you say that he did it simply from his own good pleasure, and without any reason, you then find that there is something which is their subject to law, and so their train of natural laws interrupted. If you say, as more orthodox theologians do, that in all the laws which God issues, he had reason for giving those laws rather than others, the reason, of course, being to create the best universe, although you would never think to look at it. If there was reason for the laws which God gave, then God himself was subject to law, and thereby you do not get any advantage by introducing God as an intermediary. Then you have to ask yourself the question, well, which God? This argument is an argument from ignorance, God of the gaps, and a broken compass argument. The origin of natural laws may have some unknown cause that is not even to be divine. Even if we grant the false premise that there are prescriptive natural laws, and by extension the extension of a lawgiver God, it does not follow that the God is the one the apologist has in mind, or even that there is only one God involved. It could just be as likely as be the flying spaghetti monster, purple space pixies, Santa Claus, or invisible pink unicorns as it could be Yahweh. So this, leaves conflict for religions, because the religion started polytheism and then it started monotheism. No gods should worship before me. I am a jealous God, right? So monotheism means only one God, right? But which God? All religions have different gods. What happened if it's not a God of no religion? You know? What happened if it's not even have to be divine? You know? So it could be something we don't know, I don't think it's gods, any gods, whether religion or not, because once you throw gods in there, God is like the ultimate authority. God is like the ultimate supreme being. God is like the top of the top. Like you can't kill gods, right? You can't kill them. I mean, it or whatever. So that's if you throw God in there, whether religion or non-religion, doesn't make sense because God is too supernatural, and the universe is all natural. However freaky it may be, it's all natural. Maybe it was another species. Maybe it was, it was another species with their extraterrestrial power, because this is where it goes to things we don't even know, things we can't even understand. Maybe they had some these species had some extraterrestrial power that made these laws. That could be possible. That's more probable than a God would ever be. Different species, different technology, different elements, different powers. Well, we wouldn't throw about technology elements. Probably not even a power. It probably has to do with technology, forces, elements that we can't even understand. Because I think Grid and Square said it best. Our science is child's play compared to where we should be. That's probably true. So many galaxies, so many universes, different forms of mathematics, different forms of science, different forms of physics, you know, different laws. So I don't think it's gods. I don't think it's like aliens had this power, because when you have power, where do they get the power from, you know? That's more absurd too. So anything like supernatural or gods or power, I think it has to do with the force that I don't think anything is like created. I don't think these species or beings created forces. I think everything just evolved through a process. This goes through the process that we don't even know about. You know, different laws, different elements, different forces, different mathematics. You know, that's why maybe science will have to be expanded, not necessarily rewritten. And I think that's probably what it boils down to. Everything evolved. But I guess you could be open to these aliens have these powers to make a force like this. This is where it goes to the unknown. But I would just cut it out there, because anything more than that would be supernatural absurd. But I think everything evolved. I don't think there's like a species that can create forces and make a force like this. And then you have to ask yourself, well, why would they do that? It's more than likely everything just evolved. You know, this goes to evolvement of the unknown. You know, the different physical laws, these different universes, different elements, different technology. And I think that's what it is. If you put it in the simplest terms, everything evolved. Life evolved, space evolved, time evolved. That's what it's going to boil down to. And this is why you can never get to infinite regression. Once you put the gods in there, you always get infinite regression. But through evolution, there will never be infinite regression, because you're just advancing from the beginning to now. And now we have the parallel, and this is even more amazing. Parallel theory, which means, check this out. We live on Earth. There's another Earth that's totally different than us. I mean, we're not talking about a different planet. We're just talking about another Earth that has different laws. It's an alternate Earth. It's like an alternate time. They have this parallel theory now. Like I said, we possibly can solve this. Scientists are coming up with more ideas. Technology is advancing. I think it's going to get to a point. I don't know when it's going to be, but we'll see what happens in 5 years. Maybe this will be solved. That's not kind of far-fetched. We're advancing very, very fast in science. And since the quantum theory has some unexplanations, this new parallel theory, it's making sense of the quantum theory, you know. So I definitely don't think it's a god. No gods. I think it's just evolution of everything, you know. There's actually, I just thought of something actually. Well, hours earlier, I was trying to think of what I was trying to think of. Well, anyways, it was something like how this one starting point could have just advanced, but there was no God required. Trying to think how. See if I can remember what I was talking about. Oh, I think it was like the first Because I mean, there's always going to be a first species, whether the first alien species. Maybe they could have triggered a series of events, and this is where we go to the unknowns, whether they have telepathy powers, telekinesis, stuff, ESP. This goes to powers, which could be possible, but that's like not necessarily supernatural, but that's like more, more super, it's not really supernatural because it's just a different species on a different planet, or a different universe. But maybe I still think it's evolutionary of everything, but maybe, and this is just a maybe, these species, the first alien species or whatever, triggered multiple events. And this is the thing we can't understand, we can't fathom to understand. That could be possible, right? This is the thing where you have to really stretch your mind. You have to really stretch your mind, be open to this strangeness, And that could be possible too. I think what maybe happen is maybe every 5 years we can solve a mystery. So say like in 5 years we found out what caused the Big Bang, okay? But then if we have multiverses and, parallel worlds, it's going to go on pretty far. I think science is going to be on, it's going to be good on for a long time. But if we did solve the Big Bang, so like in 5 years, we found out what caused it. Alright? I can't even think, but what it could be. See, the funny thing with the Big Bang is time didn't exist before the Big Bang, right? Time, space, the law didn't exist for the Big Bang. But that's for our universe. If there's a multiverse out there before our universe, right? So maybe time and space got warped. This is where it gets so hard to understand. Time and space maybe got warped. And if there's parallel worlds with this parallel theory, there's another Earth that looks like us but have totally different Earth. It's a lot to take. It's a lot to really, you have to really use your brain on all this stuff. So I guess we'll just take it one step at a time. So let's see if I can make sense of it. If we came up with a solution, right? Okay, so it's like 5 years from now. We found out what caused the Big Bang, right? Okay. So like if it was a pre-existing force that evolved, evolved from another dimension, another galaxy, and came into us and created, and that's what made the Big Bang. Okay, so we solved that part. Then we're gonna have to find out where. At least I think it's good if we find out what caused the Big Bang for us, because at least we know what caused the universe for us, right? But then we have to find out about the other universes, what caused that, right? So I think if we solve at least for our Big Bang, that's going to be huge. It's going to be really huge. And then we could solve the other mysteries. Or maybe we'll solve the life issue. Well, the first replicating molecule. Maybe we saw that first before